With that, I want to introduce Nobio. The floor is yours.
Good evening. My name is John Scott. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer at Nobio. Nobio is a company based in Israel that has been searching for a solution to a challenge that has affected both all dentistry and all the dental industry overall. Currently today, the problem really is secondary caries. Secondary caries is something that every dentist and all dental practices are dealing with and trying to address every day. 2/3 of cavities treated in the US today fail due to bacteria and ultimately lead to secondary caries. Currently today, the products on the market, both fluoride rinses, resin modified glass ionomers, do help in prevention of fighting secondary caries, but they diminish over time and they're not long lasting. Nobio has been working on a solution to address this concern, and so I'd like to show you a quick video to provide you what Nobio has been doing.
A significant challenge in dentistry is the occurrence of secondary caries. At Nobio, we believe that prematurely failed restorations can soon be a thing of the past. To solve this problem, we need to prevent bacteria from creating biofilm on the teeth. This problem is difficult, as biofilm is highly resistant to disinfectants, antibiotics, and our own immune system. In response, Nobio is developing a technology that inhibits bacterial growth and biofilm formation without promoting bacterial resistance. It relies on antimicrobial particles, which are introduced during a material's production and transforms the material into a long-lasting antimicrobial. The particles, embedded into the material, attract bacteria with electrostatic forces, killing them upon contact and preventing biofilm production. This protection is especially critical at the interface, or microgap, between the material and the tooth structure. Nobio's proprietary particles have been investigated in dental materials like cements, sealants, composites, and endodontic sealers, and have demonstrated a broad-spectrum antimicrobial effect. The Nobio particles are insoluble and non-leaching, so they kill only what comes in contact with the surface of the material, without affecting the natural flora of the mouth and without degrading over time. In the future, we could see these particles incorporated into endodontic, orthodontic, and cosmetic dental treatments for improved care and a more positive prognosis for future generations of dental patients. Nobio, creating new possibilities in dental materials and elevating the standard of care.
As stated in the video, Nobio is now introducing Infinix. It's the first FDA antimicrobial dental composite solution. This is a product that is focused specifically on antimicrobial, killing antibacteria, and helping reduce secondary caries. The science behind the new technology and this new product is the QASi particles. The QASi particle is quaternary ammonium that's been embedded and covalently bound into a silicon particle. The silicon particle, as it's stated in the video, electrostatically attracts the bacteria and kills it, and ultimately reduces the demineralization process in secondary caries. Because it's covalently bound, it does not leach, it's insoluble, and it does not require chemical release or exchange like fluoride products currently today do on the marketplace. The research and science behind this new technology has been proven. We've done clinical research, both in many different studies on the reduction of mineral loss or reduction of demineralization due to using the quaternary QASi technology in the products, but also the antibacterial studies that have been taking place to show the efficacy of this product, both on killing bacteria, but also having a quick kill rate. This is an example of a 24-hour study that shows where in 24 hours, no bacteria is living versus the control. We also have a very robust research done on the list of microorganisms and bacteria that the QASi technology doesn't kill, including Candida. So there's a very robust list that I'm showing here on this slide. Along with this research and all this technology, it's not happened overnight. Currently to date, Nobio has been working on this technology in different formulations, different iterations over the past 6+ years. Currently today, the science and research behind this has led to both getting us receiving both CE mark approval, FDA clearance, and just recently our second Celerant Best of Class New Technology Award. And this is even before we launched in the US. Currently today, the product is sold in Israel. It is launching in the US later this month at the Chicago Midwinter Show. But at the same time, we're also in the process of looking for additional partnerships, both financial partnerships to help us with moving this technology forward and additional investors, but also manufacturing partnerships where we can incorporate this technology into other dental products, things like clear aligners, implants, sealants, but also non-dental industry partners like orthopedic devices, breast implants, and PPE materials. Nobio has been working on this for a long time. We're globally headquartered in Kadima, Israel. Our US office is in Middlebury, Connecticut. And we have a very strong and robust, experienced leadership team with over 15 years plus of experience in all key areas of leadership. We're currently today, we're focused on trying to change the standard of care, both in dentistry, but in other industries as well. The three key areas that I'd like to have you take away from this presentation is one, is we have a permanent and effective, long-lasting solution to secondary caries. Two, we have FDA cleared antibacterial, antimicrobial products that don't change the current dental workflow. And three, we have a very strong, ready to go to market technology that not only can affect and change the way dentistry is done today, but also affect other categories and other industries as well. Currently, if you have more information, please contact us or join us in the chat room afterwards. We'd love to talk more and look forward to any questions you may have.
Thanks, John. So if I understand correctly, the Infinix product is rolling out very soon. Is that correct?
It is. We're at the end of this month, we're launching in the US.
And is there any change in the current clinical workflow that dentists use now in their filling materials to use the Infinix product?
No, we have a bonding agent in two composites, and they used exactly the same way their dentists are using bonding agents and composite in their current practices.
So for future expansion, you mentioned other products outside of dentistry, you know, like orthopedic implants and things of that nature. I assume that's in the pipeline down the road.
We've had some discussions with a few companies about, it's mask and PPE, but also some other orthopedic or surgical type of implants as well.
Okay, and I'd like to remind the audience that we have an active poll that we'd like you to partake in about your interest levels on the proposal and pitch from Nobio. So please make sure to fill that out. It's only a few questions and won't take much time. The composite itself, is it a light cure? Is it a single viscosity, or is it what is the formulation and how is it applied?
We have two composites. We have a universal composite and a flowable composite. Both are light cure. They will come in different shades. Currently today, we have an A2 in both the flowable and the universal composite, but we also have an A3 in the universal as well. We are looking to expand our shade range, but it won't be 32 shades or that many. It'll only be, at the most, will be just a handful of shades that we're looking to use.
So we do have a few questions from the audience as well, and I know we've had a lot of technical issues, so I'm just going to throw this in there. Dr. Rothstein had asked earlier about orthopedic implants. I'm going to add to that and say, is there any resistant, like anything resistant? Would this be applicable to even titanium implants?
The question is, like with anything with different formulations, where we created different formulations for different
materials. Like right now, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so because of that, I don't know off the top of my head if we've done something with titanium, but I know we've done stuff with other orthopedic opportunities.
Got it. Do you have an idea of what the costs are of the secondary infections, both from the amount spent on the cavities or infections, or the amount treating infections after for these secondary infections?
You're talking about the dollar amount that's used for
Dollar amount, general, basically addressable market in terms of what types of costs you're preventing by adding this composite into the mix.
Well, we look at it as it's almost a two-in-one type of product. It's a restorative product as well as a preventative, and so we almost the technology, the classification we're really calling is an antimicrobial therapeutic treatment. As far as the cost of what the overall savings we're looking to try to make in the marketplace, that's pretty robust. I don't have those figures right in front of me, but it's obviously you figured 2/3 of the what's being done today has some type of failure. So it's pretty significant when you look at the dentistry industry itself is billions of dollars, and not all of it's done with restorative, but it's still a significant part of what a dentist does today.
Do you see the composite adding a significant cost to the procedure?
No, in fact, right now the product that we're looking to launch this month in the U.S. is going to be maybe a little bit premium, but it's not going to be above a 10% more than what we're looking for in the marketplace. It's very competitive with what currently people are buying today, just with a newer and a better technology.
Excellent. And I know this is actually a question that I had earlier, but I was trying to make sure, how can you be so sure that the product is non-leaching and persistent in its current use?
There's been, well, first of all, it's covalently bound to within the particles, a silicone filler. And it's incorporated into the product and material itself. So it relatively resides on the surface, and it's embedded in the material. So it does not need to release. It's designed to be. It's actually because of the electrostatic impact of it. It actually attracts both from a positive and negative negativity of the bacteria and the positive of the QASi technology. It actually attracts it and kills it from a membrane standpoint.
Got it. And just a couple last questions here as we wrap up. Following up on the cost structure, is it covered under standard insurance? Like, is this just part of another composite that would be added to the procedure mix, or do you need a separate approval?
Current today, it behaves under the CDT codes and insurance as currently based as a regular composite. We have petitioned or made a request in the ADA to try to get another set of CDT codes for it to try to get more reimbursement back from insurance and get approvals from that standpoint. But it's just in the preliminary stage of getting approval or being reviewed.
Got it. And actually, I'll just throw in a couple of these last ones since you're answering so efficiently here. Is it compatible with other composites? And do you have a flowable option for the composite?
We do have a flowable option. It is compatible with other composites. We do recommend using it as to get the maximum efficacy of the antimicrobial is to use it as a system. So like I said, we do have a bonding agent that also has antimicrobial and QASi technology particles in it. So that gives you working together along with the composite. We recommend them to work together, but they can be used with other composites on the marketplace as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Ed, did you have any follow-up questions?
I wanted to ask about durability in the occlusal region. What, is the Infinix material able to withstand a heavy chewing load in molars?
We've tested it both in its strength. It's fared very well. We can call it a very good composite as far as both different flexural compression strengths and a bunch of other testing from that standpoint. So we have good physical properties so we truly believe we got a strong product as far as durability, not just from an antimicrobial standpoint, but from a long-lasting standpoint.
And talking about long lasting, what is the longest study you have that compares the rate of recurrent caries to other composites that are on the market?
We have some in vitro studies and we have some in vivo studies. The in vivos are shorter in time span, but the in vitro studies have been. We have the doctor who helped us develop this product and had the product in their mouth for over 4+ years. But from a research standpoint, it's not as long as far as from a vivo standpoint. But we're looking to try to continue to add more to that, and we have stuff that's currently in process today.
All right, excellent.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time tonight, Dr. Zuckerberg. Excellent moderating there. John, thanks so much. Truly an interesting product, solving some serious issues. And as an investor, I love the fact that it works right in with the existing workflow. I know we've got some people that have already raised their hands looking for beta test sites. So that's good news for you. Let's get you guys connected in the networking session afterwards.